purpose is today is to focus on a topic that I feel is really closely related to all of your backgrounds, and it's really important for us to learn more. I'll be the first to admit that I'm not somebody that takes my personal wellness into complete care. If I just do it for myself, I know that other people really are challenged with this in their own ways, because what does everyone say? I don't have the time. I can't do that. Today is really about getting personal and not just offering suggestions on what people should do, but also, why is it difficult? Why is it hard for people to even consider this? We're really trying to just put care into so many facets. And really today is about taking care of yourself. Why is that challenging?
Functional medicine, it can be approached in a couple of different ways. One way that I like to describe it is a bridge between traditional medicine that we have come to know in this country. You go to your primary care physician, you maybe get an annual physical if you're well, and you go, of course, when you need maybe a medication or a checkup. It's a bridge between that type of medicine and maybe a more completely naturopath type of practice or form of medicine, where really no medication is used and really seeking alternative options is the goal. We are pretty much right in between. We take the science, we are very much rooted in science. We follow the most recent science and really apply that to our practice for results-driven data, but we don't always go to medication as the first solution. Functional medicine is about looking at the body as a whole and connecting, because everything is connected.
This idea of, you say the word time, right? If you're operating on a day where you're 5 minutes behind schedule the whole day, you're just in reactive mode. When you're reacting to everything that comes in front of you, there's no time to do or change anything. So I think, time being a huge struggle, operating behind the 8 ball, as they might say, or kind of in that reactive mode, that's when it's really tough to make changes. And sometimes something as simple as moving in the proactive mode and never letting yourself get behind is usually the first step in being able to actually start accomplishing these things. And I've been privy to it myself. So
things like that you have to prioritize, but we oftentimes put ourselves on the back burner because we're like, oh, we are obviously all business owners, we prioritize work, and we get kind of pushed to the side. And my business partner Shannon, I don't know, it was probably last month sometime, she was like, Meg, you were I can tell you're on the verge of getting stressed and you're falling behind, just close orders for 2 weeks. We're not that booked for the first 2 weeks of May, just close orders. And I was like, what? No. Are you for real? Because that's really scary to just be well, we're not going to take on orders and then we're just not going to have that extra income for those 2 weeks. And that's frightening, but it was so crucial. I got so caught up on so many things, and then was able to focus on all the stuff on the back burner, work-wise and personal-wise, that I had to work on. And while that is a risky decision to make and sometimes can feel that's the opposite of what I want to do, it's finding the space and time to make time for that so that you can focus on yourself.
Not even so much. I think we get very focused and hyper-focused on what we're eating, right? And what is at the end of our fork, but it's how we're eating as well, and it's how we're going about our day. There are numerous really exciting studies out there saying that even if we are eating in a stressed way, we metabolize that food so much differently than if we were eating it in a very relaxed, calm setting, talking about because there's that gut to brain connection, which is huge. If we are stressed, if we are fatigued, if we are really just working ourselves to the bone, which also takes a hit on our immunity, right? We will actually process food so differently.
So I think sometimes taking a step back and recognizing things that bring you joy, and sometimes to detach away from the dollar signs is very, very important.
You want to be happy? Do less. It was crazy to me. But I was also there as a chef in the kitchen for a month, and do less, be happy, I don't know.
Because if you don't have people in your corner for what it is you're trying to do, you're running uphill and then washing yourself downhill at the same time. And so what Cooks Who Care is trying to do is to provide that support network of saying, hey, reach out to people. What's the hardest thing that people say? I can't ask for help, because if I ask for help, then I'm making myself vulnerable, and then I have to also admit that I may not be doing things the best way. But sometimes saying it out loud puts you in check. Take what is that one thing that you know you're not great at, and actually start thinking about it and saying, what could I do tomorrow to change it?